House, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.
There's very few homes that most of these are going to go in a backyard. You're probably not going to put a raised bed garden out in front. And there's very few homes that you could get a bulk delivery where you could put it in the back. You're going to end up dumping it on your driveway and having to wheelbarrow it around.
Yeah, then you're moving
no
it
one's
twice.
going to do. Yeah.
So there is some cost efficiencies. You may end up finding that even getting bulk soil is more expensive than just getting bag soil for that simple fact. If your time is worth something, then you might be better off with just the bagged format. You throw it in a wheelbarrow, you wheel it to the backyard, then you can offload it. It's easy to move, and you don't have a dirty mess as much as you would with shoveling it out, having to get your neighbors to come help you shovel all your big load of soil that you got in your front yard. But there's some advantages to having the big bulk stuff because it's very uniform. It's never been in a plastic bag. There's a lot of people out there concerned about things superheating inside of a plastic bag, and there's some legitimacy to that. Because your backfill and your soil mix, especially, the closer you get to the top 4 inches, that's where you want your most premium stuff. And so if I am getting bagged soil, I want to make sure it's alive. It's not dead soil. And we've talked about it in other past shows, the dent test. You go kick the bag and see if it holds a dent. If it holds a dent, then that soil is still alive. If it doesn't hold a dent, that's dried out. It's not even alive. You're going to have to bring it to life first before it's going to be any use to your garden. And the first windstorms can probably blow away off the top of your soil anyway. So you got to bring it to life.
Ever since you said that, I've never looked at a bag of soil that's sitting out in the sun on the driveway or parking lot of a nursery or garden center the same way. I'm not picking off that pallet.
Yeah, it's like, can I get it from the bottom of the pile? I mean, that's usually where you're going to find
where's the stuff that's in the shade?
Yes. And that's often what happens. They're just little solar ovens that are holding this bag of soil. That's actually, you want it to be alive. The more living your soil is, the easier it is to sustain the garden that you want to grow. One of the greatest and most evident side effects you get from superheated soil, just if you want to know what happens a few months down the road when you're growing your plants, especially with greens like broccoli and stuff like that, is people get aphids on their plants like crazy. And you're like, aphids? Well, why would my soil affect my, whether I have aphids or not? It's because if the soil's not alive, it's not granting access to all the micronutrients needed in order to fortify a plant against aphids. And so it'll actually attract aphids instead. And so really good soil makes you look like a genius. Grow your soil first, and your plants will not only thank you, you will thank yourself, because of the less work that you've now created for yourself by just starting out with some great soil. So good stuff. I mean, one of my favorite soil bulk suppliers here in the Valley, shout out to Arizona Worm Farm. They do an amazing job. They do a great job. And worm-based soils is some of the best stuff you can get. That's alive. That's really good in a live soil.
Rosie on the House, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.